and welcome to MHA Digital Communities. My name is Hannah and I work for Communities Eastleigh in Hampshire. Today we're going to be doing some standing exercise. And just before we start, just to remember some little health tips. If we make sure we've got enough room around us for today, we will be moving our hands and our feet to the front and to the side. And also if we make sure we've got appropriate footwear on for exercising today, and also go at your own pace. So if you need to stop and pause the video at any point, to grab some water or to have a little rest, pop back when you're ready. We'll be here waiting for you. And another option today, if we're not too confident about our balance, is to have a nice sturdy chair to help us. We can either have it in front of us so that we can use both hands when we're working on our legs, but also we can have it to the side with one hand, and we use one hand at a time. So today we're going to be doing our standing exercise, and what we will do is start off with a warm up to get our muscles all warmed up and to get some oxygen around our body. And then we'll be doing 3 upper body exercises to work our upper body and our core. And then we'll be doing 3 lower body exercises to work on our lower body. And to finish today, we'll also be doing a cool down, a nice stretch head to toe, so that we can thank our muscles for working with us today. Okay, so today we're going to start with our warm up to get our muscles working and to get that oxygen around our body. So again, just a reminder, we've got enough space around us. And our position that we're going to do today, we're going to have our feet about hip width apart, just under our hips, and we're going to have a slight bend in our knee as well. That helps with our balance. We're going to have a nice straight back as well. That will help as well. Okay, just to start, we're going to stretch our body out. So we're going to take a deep breath in, and we're going to bring our hands to our sides, and then we're going to deep breath out, come back down. We do that one more time. Perfect, and breathing out. And then we're going to warm up our shoulders and our arms. We're going to do 4 shoulder rolls back and 4 forward. So when you're ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring them forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. So now to warm up our waist and our core, we're going to do a twist. So all our body is going to be doing, our lower body is going to stay where it is, and we're just going to twist from our waist. And we can also incorporate our arms to get them moving as well. We're just going to take it nice and slowly here. And one more each side. Perfect. And for this one, we're just going to test our hips. So we're going to do a forward bend. So if we keep that bend in our knees nicely, and we're going to bend straight forward from the waist until you feel comfortable, and then slowly coming up to our straight. We're going to do that one more time. So bending our knee and coming forward, and slowly straightening up. If we find it difficult with our balance, the easier version could be to bend our knees a bit more and just to bend down into more of a squat, and then slowly coming up, and we'll do that one more time. Perfect. Our next one, we're just going to use our heels. Our toes are going to remain on the floor, and we're literally just going to bring our heels off one at a time, and a slow march. We can use our arms as well, swinging at our side. Perfect. And 4, 3, 2, 1. If that was enough, leave it there. If we can do our march on the spot as well. So bringing our 4 foot off the floor and swinging our arms a little bit more. Perfect. Go slower than me if you need to. Perfect. And in 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Hope you're feeling all warmed up. And if that felt okay, we can do more of a front bend. So again, with our bend in our knees, we can move from the hips forward and slowly up And one more time. And slowly up to center. Okay, so now we're all warmed up, we're going to go on to our upper body exercises. So for our lower body, we're just going to stay in the same position, so feet about hip width apart with a slight bend in our knee. And we're going to keep our back nice and straight for these as well to help our balance. Our first one today is going to be our flashes. So these help our fingers and they help our wrist strength, and they're also going to help our muscles on our upper body. So I'll quickly demonstrate what we're going to do. If we bring our elbows in by our side and we have our hands in front of us, if we're struggling with our grip strength, we can have relaxed fingers, and all we're going to do is going to have a straight arm and then flashing our fingers, and then we relax our fingers and bring back in. If we're struggling with our elbows, our arms don't have to go completely straight, they can have a slight bend. So you decide what feels comfortable. And then when we bring that back in, we're going to go slightly higher each time for 3 times. So we're going to go about shoulder height, and then we're going to reverse back down. So when we're ready, we're going to tuck our elbows in, and we're going to go straight into our flash and bringing back in. Slightly higher, bringing back in. And 1, about head height, bringing back in. Then we're going to reverse that. So out, and in, out, and in, and 1 down, and in. Perfect. Can we do that one more time, up and down? So flashing down, and in, to the side, and in, and 1 slightly higher, and in. Perfect. And reversing, up, and in, out, and in, and down, and in. Perfect, there we go. If we need to give our arms a little shake between these ones, please do. Our next one, we're going to use our hug hold. So this one, our hands are going to come in front of us, and they can either just touch, or we can grasp our fingers in front of us. We're just going to imagine that we've got a beach ball that we don't want to drop in our hands. And this one, we're going to start slightly lower in front of our belly button, and then we're going to bring our hands just in front of our face, and then back down, and then join in when you're ready, coming up and down, keeping our elbows up if we can, not dropping them at the side, and down. Perfect. Can we do 4 more? And down. Lovely. Go slower if we need to. 2 and 1. Perfect, lovely. Give our arms a shake if we need to. And again, make sure we've got our nice bend in our knee. So our next one for our upper body is going to be our shoulder taps. So for this one, we're going to have our hands by our side. If we need a slight bend in our elbow, that's fine. And then all we're going to do is bring our hands into our shoulders, and then out again. Perfect. We're going to do 6 of these when we're ready. And in, and out. Perfect. Keep going. Lovely. Halfway through already. 3 more. In, and out. 2 more. And our last one. And out. Perfect. Give our arms a shake if we need again. And that is our upper body exercises. Okay, so now we're going to go on to our lower body exercises. So again, just checking we've got enough room on the floor for this one, because we will be moving our legs. And also, if we do want to pause just before we go on to the next section, just to grab some water or just for a minute's rest, we can pause and come back in a second. Okay, so our first one is going to work on our balance, because we'll be on one leg for a slight moment, and also it's going to help with our thigh muscles. And also for our balance, for our lower body exercises, we can have our hand on our hip, or we can also have our hands out to the side. That helps with our balance. But also, if we do have a problem being on one foot at a time, we can also have our chair by the side of us for this one. And we will show you later on how to do this variation. Okay, so we're going to start with our toe taps. So we're going to have a slight bend in our standing leg, and then one leg at a time, we're just going to tap in front of us. So just in front, and then back in, and then we go to the side. So tapping to the side, and in, and then we also go back if we can, and back in, and then we reverse that to come back to our front. So for this one, we can go as far or as little with our taps. It can literally just be a tap in front and a little tap to the side. So you experiment, and also with the room that we've got. Okay, so we're going to do this through one leg at a time. So tapping forward, and in, out, and in, and back, and in. Perfect. We're going to start with the back to reverse, and in, side, and in, and then forward, and in. Perfect. So we're going to swap to use that as our standing leg, again with a slight bend, and we're going to go with our other foot. Perfect. So same, just on the other side. So forward, and in, to the side, and in, and back, and in. Perfect. We're going to reverse that, starting with back, and in, side, and in, and forward, and in. Perfect. If that's enough for today, leave it there. We're going to do one more time either side. So starting with our other foot, forward, and in, out, and in, and back. Perfect. And reverse, and side, and forward. Lovely. Swapping our weight, and on the other side, forward, out, and back. Perfect. Last time, reversing that one, and in, out, and in, and forward, and in. Perfect. There we go. That's our first for our lower body. And our next one is going to be some easy squats. So for this one, if we can bring our feet slightly wider than hip width apart, and this one is going to help our thighs and help our hips as well, so we'll be bending slightly. Again, for our balance, we can have our hands on our hips or to the side, or we'll show the variation with the chair. So for this one, we're going to start with just a slight bend in our knee, but we're also going to go down. Okay, I'll show you quickly one. So we're going to bend our knee more, but we're also going to bring our hips back as we do that. Perfect. And go as far as we can, just to feel our muscles working, and then slowly coming up to standing. Perfect. We're going to do 6 of these, and go at your own pace. So we're going to do our bend with our knee first, and then slowly bringing our hips back, and then up to our standing. Perfect. Keep going. And 3. Perfect. Halfway through. 3 more to go. And 2 more. And our last one here. And to straight. Perfect. That's our squats. So we're going to bring our feet a little bit more about hip width apart again for this one. And we're going to do our toe raises. So this one is going to help us with our balance. Again, if we need to, we'll show a variation with a chair. And for this one, what we can do is 2 variations. I'm going to do my balance with both feet at a time. So what we do is we keep our toes on the floor, and we just raise our heels until we can feel our muscles working, and then bringing back down. What we can do is we can also do that one at a time. So we can literally bring one heel off the floor and down again. So you have an experiment and decide at home. Perfect. We're going to take these slowly again. We're also going to do 6 of these. Okay, when we're ready, and just bringing our heel off the floor and then slowly back down. Perfect. Remembering to keep our nice straight upper body to help with our balance too. Perfect. And 3. Lovely. 3 more. And 2. And our last one. Perfect. Okay, so this is the variations for our lower body using our chair for balance. So for this one, for our taps, we have our chair by our side, and obviously we can lean on for balance. So we're going to use our outer foot away from the chair for this one, and we use our taps so we can come forward and in, so we can come out and in and back and in. Perfect. So when we need to do onto our other foot, all we need to do is just swap round and use our other hand so we can use our other foot. And this is our variation with our chair for our lower body squats. So again, for this one, we have our feet slightly wider this time, and we can use both hands with the chair in front of us. So when we go down, we're going to bend our knee, bringing our hips back, and then slowly coming up to standing. I'll do that one more time just to show you. We can use our chair for balance and slowly coming up. And for our balancing on our toes, again, we can have our chair in front of us and using both hands for balance. So we would come up onto our toes and then slowly back down. And again, using our chair to lean on, coming up, and then slowly back down. Okay, so that was our lower body exercises for today. And we're now going to go on to our cool down stretch. And it's going to stretch out all our muscles and thank our body for our workout today. Okay, so now we're going to go on to our cool down stretches. This is just going to stretch out all the muscles we've used today and get our heart rate down a little bit to end our exercising. Okay, so for this one we're going to have our nice balanced posture again. We're going to have our straight back to start with. And our first one, we're going to stretch out our neck. We're just going to tilt our head to one side, bring it down towards our shoulder, but keeping our shoulder down, just until we feel a stretch along our neck. If we don't feel it here, what we can do is just bring our hand to help push our head. We're going to leave it here. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And slowly up and then onto the other side. Again, if we need our hand to help, just until we feel our stretch along our neck and shoulder. Perfect. And 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And slowly up. We're going to stretch out our upper body muscles. We're going to start with bringing our arm across our front. If this feels enough, we should feel it here. And we're going to reach across. If we don't feel it here, we can use our other hand just to pull our hand towards ourselves a little. We're reaching across with that hand. Perfect. Trying to keep our shoulder down if we can. And holding here for 3, 2, 1. Lovely. And slowly changing to our other hand. And again, we're going to be reaching across as much as we can until we feel our stretch here. And 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Relaxing down. And then we're going to stretch our upper side of our arm. We're going to bring our hand to our shoulder. And if we feel a stretch here, that's perfect. If we do need to help, we can just put our hand on our elbow and push back until we feel that stretch. Perfect. Here for a few seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Lovely. And then slowly changing to our opposite elbow. And again, if we need to, pushing that back slightly until we feel our stretch here. Perfect. In 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And slowly coming back to our neutral position. Then we're going to stretch our side and our torso. We're bringing one hand at a time, just across, until we feel our stretch just along our side. And we can also look down towards the floor to again help our neck. And 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And onto our other side, bringing our hand across and looking at the floor. In 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And slowly back to our neutral position. Then we're just going to stretch our lower body. So we're going to one leg at a time. Just going to bring our heel forward on the floor with our toe up on that foot. And we're going to have a bend in our standing leg. If we feel that stretch here, it should be along the back of our leg. Leave it here. If we don't quite feel the stretch yet, if we push our hips back and into a slight bend, we should feel it here. Perfect. And relaxing in 3, 2, 1. And slowly up. We're going to swap to our other foot. So heel coming forward, toe up with a bend in our standing leg. If we feel it here, just stretch here. If not, we can bring our hips back and bending slightly forward until we feel that stretch. Perfect. In 3, 2, 1. And slowly coming up. Our last one for our lower body. We're just going to lunge forward slightly. So just one foot in front of the other. We're going to have a bend in our front leg and we're going to keep our back leg straight just until again we feel it on our lower part of our leg this time. And here for 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And slowly coming up and swapping feet. So a bend in our forward leg and keeping our back leg straight until we feel that stretch. Lovely. And holding for 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And slowly coming up to center. And our last one, just to cool down, we're going to take a few deep breaths and we're going to bring our hands to our side. So we're going to breathe in as our hands come up to our shoulder height and breathing out. Perfect. We'll do this twice more. Deep breath in and out. Perfect. Last one. Breathing in and out. Perfect. Thank you very much for joining us today, and hopefully we will see you again next time.